Misdemeanor probation, that is non-property tax funds. They have picked up an additional position. Motor vehicle, their budget is up by $53,000, and that is due to two main factors. One, we have prorated the assessor and the chief deputy salary between motor vehicle and assessor's reappraisal. The assessor still has responsibility over the motor vehicle department, and we're taking a portion of those salaries from that department. Additionally, last year, in an effort to improve accountability and to give a more accurate representation of what it costs to run departments, we moved postage amounts out of the IT budget and into the specific departments.
Right.
And there was $30,000 of postage that did not get picked up in that process in 2012. We will get it into the motor vehicle budget for 2013. You'll notice a minor increase in the Parks and Recreation budget of $690,000.
Why is that?
That is because of an exciting event out at Celebration Park, the Crossroads Museum. So the Parks and Recreation Fund does receive property tax dollars, but the museum is grant funded and paid for by grants. And we've added $700,000 for the museum. Page 6. The sheriff's budget is down by $2 million. That's largely due to the dispatch personnel have been moved from the sheriff's budget to the dispatch fund. Additionally, though, the sheriff has decreased his capital expenditures by $270,000, and there's a decrease in miscellaneous professional services of $72,000, and a $50,000 decrease in the capital construction line item. The specialty courts, and these are non-property tax funds. There has been an increase in funding from the state, and along with that increase in funding has come an increase in responsibilities and duties. The trial court administrator, the state has provided additional funding for a court assistance officer position. Now, the court assistance officer provides court forms, reviews court forms, provides legal information, not legal advice. And when forms are filled out correctly, put together properly, it's tremendously beneficial in helping the legal process move forward in an efficient manner. We have budgeted for an attorney to fill that position, and the state has increased their funding to go along with that. The Waterways Fund, the budget there is down by $154,000. That is due to capital purchases for docks and a boat over the last few years that utilized the fund balance, and we're projecting $120,000 in revenue going into that fund, and that'll be what they have to spend. Welfare. The county has obligations.
But before we leave that, Zach, the attorney that's funded by the state, is it totally funded by the state or proportionally?
It is not totally funded by the state. The state is funding that at a revenue amount of $60,000.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
So welfare, On the salaries and benefits side, we have added a hearing specialist position. And on the other expenses, we've increased that budget by $558,000. The county is obligated to provide services to indigent individuals. Our hospital care line item in fiscal year 2011, that specific line item was overspent by $200,000. Through April of this year, compared to the same time frame of the previous year, the hospital care line item expenditures were up 116%. We have added $450,000 to that one line item alone to budget $1 million for hospital care. Also included in that welfare budget is $1.4 million for mental holds. That is one area where we continue to see an increase in costs. The Wilder Farm Fire Grant and the Parma Senior Center, those were pass-through grants for 2012. Those projects have been completed. There's no need to budget for those for 2013.
Okay.
The 7th page provides information on where the money comes from to make all this happen. Our largest source of revenue is property tax. 57% of the revenue comes from property tax. The second largest source of revenue is charges for services. That's $10.5 million. That would include recorder's fees, landfill fees, motor vehicle fees, and sheriff's fees. 15% of the funding comes from intergovernmental revenue. That would include sales tax and revenue sharing and other grants. 8% of the funding is from fund balance or carryover from previous fiscal years. 3% of the funding is from miscellaneous, which would include interest and fuel reimbursement. 1% is from fines and forfeitures. That would include district court fines mainly. And another 1% for licenses and permits, building permits, and driver's license fees. For a total of $66,831,397.
Very good. Questions?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I want to go back to that attorney. If the state defunds it next year, does the position go away, or is this another way for the state to give us an unfunded mandate?
To my knowledge, there's no mandate to maintain this position indefinitely.
And what portion is the county paying? You said it was the state's paying $60,000. What portion of that salary then do we pay?
The position is budgeted at a salary of $60,000. Your benefits would be right around $20,000. That would be the portion that the county would be picking up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Questions? Comments?
Okay. Comment on within this budget, there are some concerns that I have going forward, mainly because, and this is for elected officials and department heads, that I just think we need to be real cautious as we bring more people on, or some of our, in the past we've had to have a lot of vacancies. And so some of those vacancies have been funded but not filled. And I just think we were at a congressional meeting a week ago Monday and listened to our congressman speak to us. And it was, we left there feeling like, wow, we need to be concerned as a nation, the amount of debt that we have as a nation, and it trickles down. And it affects us all. And so I don't know where we're going to be at January 1, I guess, what this nation's going to look like. So I just caution us as a county to be very, very conservative going forward, and maybe be very cautious as to how many vacancies we absolutely have to fill. And I know there are some, when people leave, then you want to maybe fill those positions, but I just think we need to look seriously at where we're headed and where this nation is headed, because it was pretty frightening as we watched them talk about our debt and the debt every minute going crazy in this country, and so it was pretty sobering, and so I think we have to move forward very cautiously, and that would be my soapbox thing that I'm going to do. This is a good budget. This shows responsibility. We have fund balances. Thank you very much to elected officials and department heads who have been conservative. That's very, very important, because just like the ambulance district, we don't run on borrowed money, and come October through January, we need to have sufficient money to pay our bills. And so fund balances are vital to the county. And so I'm appreciative of this. I think it's good whenever we lower the budget, and that's important. But I just want us to go forward with a lot of caution.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Alder covered a lot of it very well. I'd just like to say that we've been through this budget almost at this stage. Maybe this is the third or fourth time that we've met and discussed this in an open format. The clerk and the controller worked hard, and I recognize that hard work. It's been difficult. The budget's down again this year. Property values are starting to sneak back up, so maybe we'll get some relief next year. Maybe we won't. We'll see. But I appreciate their diligence, and I think this is a very responsible budget.
Okay, and the one question that I had is, I know that we entertained one of the ways to get our indigent fund cost down. You saw that number, as you stated, continues to just go up. We're at $3,825,196, and I know that we don't have a specific line item that talks about the local free clinic that we have talked about taking a $50,000 amount, taking it from our indigent fund, seeing if we can't get people to not go into the emergency room. That this free clinic has operated for 2 years. We've watched them, and I know that as commissioners, we want to find any way we can to offset that, just paying out those additional costs for people to go to emergency rooms rather than getting some sort of preventative or primary care. I know they're working with Terry Riley and some others utilizing their facilities. So I assume that is still a part of that indigent fund.
Yes, it is.
Okay, all right. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Okay, and any other questions for Zach at this point? Okay.